All right, so as you can see, I switched over to the NIOF book today because the NIOF book does a good introduction of something called list, okay? Now, we're going to create this idea of list, and what a list is going to be is a new data type. And what I mean by that is it's going to be a little bit more than, if your eyes glance down here, you saw an array, because it's going to be a built class in that I have my data type, my data inside of it, but I'm also going to have functions. I'm going to have operations that I write to work with it. So if you remember our classes, we've had some data types, and then we'd have some methods that went along with it or functions that went along with it. But we're going to up it a little bit and continue creating our own data types. And it's going to get a building process. So today we're going to do this one called a list, and then we're going to be able to use it to build upon it to make other classes. So what is a list? It's our typical array. It's called homogeneous because all of the elements are the same data type. Throw a struct out the window, but don't throw it out too far because we're going to have to grab it and use it next Tuesday. What do we know about this this list? And a moment ago I mentioned it's going to be like an array. One of our problems with a list is it has a finite length or number of elements. Okay, so when I'm working with this array, this list, I don't know if I made it too big, big enough. I need more, I need less. This brings in this word static. Okay, the size of my memory is not going to change. What we do on Tuesday, we're going to switch this over and look at a list that's dynamic, and we'll be able to change. In my list, I have it's sequential. It has a first and a last. And you see, I just threw some numbers in this array, 2, 4, 6, and 8. We'll know what our size is because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the size of this array is 12. It's a good number to hang on to. We know we'll use subscripts 0 to 11. But again, our problem is going to be deciding whether we have enough memory or not. Now, there are going to be times where this list, even with this problem, the concept of building upon an array is going to be what we want. All right, so we want to be able to, like I said a moment ago, create a class to be able to handle this. And what do we mean by a class is we not only have our data, but we have operations we'd like to perform on it. And if I said to you, what would you like to do to a list? And we started to put it in categories or into groups so we can write blocks of code to do things, we may have a list that looks something like this. When I get ready, I want to create my array. Okay, fill it with empty. Empty might mean different things. It might mean filling it with 0. It might mean filling it with a character, depending on the type of the list, and the character could be a dash. Some of you remember when we did tic-tac-toe, we had X's and O's, but what did we put in there before that? We had to be really careful with. Sometimes I want to check to see if the list is empty. Okay, and that's going to become important later, and you'll see why. Because we may want to say, hey, I want to go through and print everything out in the list. And if I check and see if it's empty first, if it's empty, I'm done. Otherwise, I might just be going through printing out a bunch of garbage. So I'm going to need, again, a function to check to see if it's empty. If I said to you, what data type might you return from this function? Empty. So if I want to check to see if my array is empty or not, I write a function, and I'm going to have a return data type that might be, I know you're waiting for me to answer it. Starts with a B.
Boolean.
Boolean, right? So that way I'm going to be able to check with an if statement, if empty, because it's going to return the Boolean for me. All right. We're going to need a way to insert a number into the list. Now, sometimes we're going to have to be really concerned with what insert does, because we're going to use this list of functions for a lot of new data types you write. So if I'm looking at my array and I get ready to insert, where would I insert it at? Is this array to stay sorted? If so, I may be inserting a 1, which would go in the beginning. I may be inserting a 5 and have to move everything over. I might insert a 9. I may insert to an empty list. If it's empty, I stick it in the first one. Delete. What would happen with delete? Once again, if it's empty, I don't even have to worry about it. Otherwise, I may be going through one at a time. What happens if it's the first thing? Everything shifts over. What happens if it's a 6? What happens if it's an 8? The last thing in the list. What happens if it's a 10? Okay, so things I'm going to have to consider when I'm writing some of these blocks of code. There are going to be different times I want to do a traversal. And why would I do a traversal? I might be searching for a number. I might want to display everything out. I might be copying the list. So a lot of different things could be going on with traverse. Now, what we're going to end up doing today is a project where you are going to create this class and have a demo to check it out. And what's going to go on in the class is all of these little pieces. And we're going to try this. This is one of the things where it was easier to do in the classroom than it was online. All right. So one of the things, as I mentioned before, I'm going to keep saying this over and over. This is static. Arrays are always static. Means we have to decide how big of a array, how much memory we want to use before we even get the party started. All right. So I know I said a moment ago, we need to know the size of the array, and I put size. That's okay. It might be confusing. We might want the variable name array size. That's a little clear. It's not much more to type. Okay. So I know one variable I'm going to need, one member or one constant member. Rashika's here. I don't want to mark you absent. Next thing I want to talk about is the function empty. Create a variable called mySize. All right. And mySize right now with this array would be set at 4. It's going to be the number of elements in the array. We can call it mySize, we can call it whatever, but you'll see in a moment why I call it mySize. What's it return? We said we're going to return a Boolean to find out if it's empty or not. If I'm going to traverse, so I'm picking off the easy ones. If I'm going to traverse, I'm going to go from 0 to size -1, or we called it array size. We're going to dictate that in a moment. Okay. So as we get ready and go through the course, we're going to do a couple of these group project days. Today's going to be a practice one. But one of the more important things you need to be doing is making sure all of these names are the same. Because I'm going to be giving you a big project and it's going to be broken up into pieces, and names of functions, names of variables, we need to make sure that they're consistent throughout the class so that one person doesn't go and write a function and then sends it to the person putting it all together, and then, oh crap, the names are all mixed up. He has more notes. Yay. Okay. So let's take a look at insert. Right. So right now I have my list and I want to get ready and I want to insert into the list, this list. All right. So a moment ago, I said, when I get ready to, give me some test data. Give me some test data. Well, this list is not sorted. Okay. It's not sorted. So now we start to have a conversation. Where do I want to insert? And one of the things I want you to start to do over and over and over is to check, first of all, is it empty? If I'm going to get ready to do this, is it empty? There are going to be times where we're inserting at the beginning, in the middle, at the end. Okay, and again, earlier I said, if it's a sorted list, then, you know, I need to take each one of these individually and handle them. So if I said I have a new number coming into a function, I'm going to call it insert. And I want to insert it. So the first thing I'm going to do is check to see if it's empty. If it is, I put it at the very first spot. Otherwise, I need to figure out where the end is and put it there. I want to look at something in the book real quick. So somebody play background music. No background music? So my numbers are bad, is what I thought. And I think I put them in pen, so I can't really erase them. So that's a doofus move right there. All right, so let's cross these out. Okay, and I'm going to put different numbers in. 4, 9, 12, and 21. I don't know why I went and put bad numbers in yesterday. Let's assume it's a sorted list. Okay, so now I want to insert the numbers. Now I need to take these 4 operations into consideration. So I'm going to get ready and I'm going to start writing some code. My test data that I'm going to do is, first of all, if it's empty, I'm going to say if empty. What did we call this? We called this, what did we call it? We didn't give it a name, did we? We'll refer to it as my array for now. Okay, if it's empty, what happens? First thing, my array sub 0 is going to get the val that's coming in. And the value that's coming in is going to be in the function heading here. Okay, so I'm going to have a function called insert. Probably shouldn't use a capital T, but for our notes, for our pseudocode, for our scribbling, we're going to do that. And I'm going to be bringing in a value called val. If it's empty, my array value, da 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 da. And then I need to say what's the size of my array. So my size, or let's call it array size, gets a value of 1. So if it's empty, I'm going to put that value in the first spot. Else, what am I going to do? So again, I'm thinking test data. What if I need to put it in the beginning? So that would be the number 3. What if I need to put it in the middle? Deal with number 11. What if I needed to put it at the end? Deal with number 2. All right, so how am I going to figure out where to put this? I think I'm going to need some sort of loop, right? Well, what happens if I put 3 in? What would have to happen to the rest of my array?
Get
Yeah,
shifted.
it's going
They'll
to
have to move over.
right. It's going to have to get shifted right. So I need to make sure when I do this, I take care of the scenario that the 3 goes in and moves everything over. That when the 11 goes in, it moves everything over. So somebody start giving me some kind of code that I would use to insert 3. What you thinking? Well, I know it's not empty. What else might I have to check for this bad boy?
You need to check to see if the value you're adding is less than all of the other items already in the list.
Right, right. So I'm going to need to check. I'm going to need to use my array and a subscript and check with val. But I have a quick question. else could cause me a major problem up here?
If the size isn't big enough.
Well, yeah, I may want to have a function called is full as well to see if this guy is full or not. Okay, so, now all of a sudden, oh boy, if it's full up here, I may get done right away. So I may have another if statement up here. If it's full, working with if empty, so right now I'm starting to lose some of you. I know, I can believe that, because at this point, just watching is kind of boring. But I've given you a whole bunch of stuff to think about of how I would code this. What about delete? What about delete? Well, I put where. What if I have another list and I start looking at some numbers in the list? 4, 11, 21, 31, 44. Give me your thought process of about deleting. Okay, so what would be the first thing I'd want to check if I was calling a function delete? What would I want to take a look at first?
Is it empty?
Is it empty? Yeah. If it's empty, I'm done. I'm out of there. Okay. Then what? Give me some test data of things I might want to delete.
Delete the first item.
Okay. I hear a 4. What else?
21.
21. Good. What else?
8.
8. Okay. 8. What else?
44.
44. What else? Give me 2 more.
11.
How
Oh,
about
that's not
50?
11.
How about 50? One more. Give me 1.
0.
Give me
1.
Yeah, 1, right? So this is before, at the beginning of the loop, the first item of the loop, something in the middle that doesn't exist, the last and the end. Okay. Might I have to do some shifting in this guy? Might. Yeah, I might. I might as well. Yeah. Oh, here we go. All right, I want you to go to D2L and I want you to load up ListH. You guys want to make a group chat at the end of class?
There's already a Discord server with a bunch of us in it already.
Oh,
There is?
you could always use
Yeah,
the
I can send you
discussion-
the link.
always use the discussion board. Uh-oh. My 162 class no longer shows up on my D2L. That's not good. That's bad.
Yeah, no, I
It
see
says
it.
view all courses 6 there at the bottom, but you're only displaying 5.
What if I just click now? I'm clicking that box. It's not showing up.
No, scroll down, scroll down.
Yeah, at the bottom it says view all classes.
All right, let me do. All right, so you're downloading list. Can't remember if I already have it. I already have it downloaded. All right, you can see my screen, yes or no? I got a yes. Okay. So here is list.h. I'm giving you a specification file. Let's see what's going on inside of here. I have a constructor. I have a function called empty. You notice it's in lowercase. I have insert. I have erase, remove an item, display, output the list, and don't worry about line 10.
I
We're not
can't see your
in
screen.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
we're only in your folder.
Let me stop. Coming back. Share this guy. We're going to get rid of this function. We don't need it. All right. So what are we coming in? We're coming in and we're seeing we have a capacity set at 1,024. Boom, 2 to the 10th power. That just jumps right out of your heads, right? 2 to the 10th power, because it even starts with a 10 and then a 2. Line 19, type def, int element type. So what we can do in a program is kind of slick. We can declare a data type, and the data type we're using is int. So as I go through the program, wherever I see the word element type, that's an int. Because I'm going to create this entire class to work with ints. What if all of a sudden I said, oh, I'd like to change this, and I go and I double click int and turn it into double. Then I'd be able to use this class for doubles all the way through. So I have this type definition of element type. Wherever I use that word, it's going to stand for an int. All right, I come in line 26 is my constructor. I'm going to take the array. I'm going to fill it with 0. I have empty. I'm returning a Boolean. I want to check to see if it's empty or not. I have insert. I'd like to insert a number in a list. Insert a value into the list at a given position. That's kind of nice. So this first one that I'm giving you today, this list, you're going to insert it at a certain position, and then everything that's there is going to get moved to the right. Okay, so for today, that's what I want you to use. Got a little precondition, postcondition. Erase, remove a value from the list at a given position. Everything else will get shifted to the left. Display, that's just going to display the list to make sure it works. And for some reason, these are stuck at the end. I have a variable called my size. That's the current size of the list. How many number items are in the array? And I have an array of, again, element type stands for int, and capacity is that 1,024. Okay. So I have my array name, I have my size, and I have capacity. 3 things that are holding values. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over to you folks. Stop share. And as I looked at that, I'm sort of like the leader today. And being in a leading position, I'm going to say, okay, I need folks to do different things. I need, so the header file is done. So under the spec file, there's several things that are going to need done and communicated. And then we also have the demo file. The demo file is going to be thought through. The demo file can be written because we already know all of the names of the functions. And of course, how would you go through and demo this? Would you make a menu? Would you like to add to the list? Would you like to erase from the list? Would you like to display the list? So some kind of menu-driven program to go through and test it versus a demo program that would add some numbers to the list, display it, erase 1 or 2, display it. So the option is yours for whoever is going to be in the demo. Thinking back to list.h, I need somebody to write, what was the first one called? Some functions that were going on there. It was empty, Yeah,
Insert.
insert, erase, display. Were there any more? Okay, I'm also going to need a master. And this person is going to be the one who's putting everything together. So I'm going to break everybody up. You're going to go into certain spots, and then we're going to try to get this up and running in the next 45 minutes. Everybody understand what we're doing? Now let's communicate a couple of things. If I'm doing insert with 3 other people and we get it done, where do we send it? So where would you like everything to be sent? Do you want it to be put on a discussion board and we pick and choose it off the discussion board?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. So let me ask you this. Let's start with the master. Who wants to be the one checking on all of these pieces and then putting them all together? This person will be building the implementation file and putting all the pieces in and have the project ready with the header, this, and when the demo appears, put all of it together and have the project. Because the master is also going to become a co-host here in Zoom. Who wants to jump up and take the lead on that? It's quiet in here all of a sudden. All right, give me 3 names that'll work together on the demo.
I'll work on the demo, Matthew.
Matthew is in part of the demo. Who else?
I'll do it.
A name.
I'll do it.
Give me names.
Peter.
CJ.
Peter and CJ. All right. I'm going to be putting you guys in breakout room 1 as soon as we get the rest of this done. That's 3 names. I need a master. Come on, step up. Don't make me pick one.
Cooper.
Cooper, you're going to be the master. You understand what your role is. I'm going to also make you a co-host so you can jump in and out of the rooms. Display, empty, insert, erase, go.
I guess I'll do empty.
Give me a name.
Kenneth.
Ken is on empty.
Yeah.
Who else? Give me a display.
I'll do it.
Name,
Stephen Price.
Stephen. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, start giving me names for insert or delete. Alex, insert. Do we have a Peter? Yes, we have a Peter. We have a CJ. We have a Ken. Anna, you're going to work in insert as well. This is going to be breakout room 2. I'll create that in a minute. Who else do we have? Spencer, you're on insert. Dev, you're going to be on insert. Erase is Yug. Mark. And Rashik. Kevin. Who's that leave? Brady. Brady, you're going to go help Steven. You're going to be in display. You're going to be in breakout room 4. Everybody's going to be reporting to Cooper. Questions?
When we do each part, we're just sending it to him then, or how are we doing that?
Cooper, how do you want him to do it?
I was thinking we could just, or are we just gonna pop it on the discussion board and then I
Put it
can just
on the
look at it?
discussion board?
Okay, all right.
Cooper, you're now co-host. Did that just pop up for you? So yes.
Where would that pop up on?
In a minute, we'll see if you were able to go to breakout rooms. We have,
We're just naming this file list.
what's that?
Are we just naming this file just list or what?
Yeah, you're gonna work with that header file that I already gave you.
Yeah, all right.
Crap. I'm hurrying because I know you want to get started on this. I want to recreate and I want to assign manually. Well, I can let participants choose room, okay? So once again, room 1, Matthew, Peter, and CJ. Room 2, Alex, Anna, Spencer, Dev. Room 3, Yud, Mark, Rashik, Kevin. Room 4, Stephen and Brady.
And how to choose the room?
Did it not pop up?
No, I don't have anything.
Up there, Mark went to a room
It's on the bottom.
on the bottom. Peter found it.
Is it a pop-up on the bottom or I need to go somewhere?
I don't know from my end. I don't know where it is. Is it on
Could
the
you-
menu? Drag all the way down to the bottom on the menu.
I just have mute video participants chat.
I don't
Shares.
have I don't have breakouts either, but I have a security thing now.
Cooper, yeah, so you should be able, you should have something that looks like breakout rooms and it'll allow you to jump to all the breakout rooms. Oh no, I'm gonna manually assign you. You were in
Yeah.
2.
Yeah,
Breakout
can you
Yeah,
assign me
thank you.
too? I'm the same thing like hers.
Who's me too?
Spencer,
Spencer, you're supposed to be in what group?
2.
Okay,
Thank you.
yep. So
Yeah,
Cooper,
I still don't have a breakout room tab.
Cooper, if you go down to the bottom, do you see anything that says breakout rooms that will allow you to join a breakout room?
Negative. I have security, participants, polls, chat, screen share, record, and reactions. That's all I
Alright.
got.
So let me see if I do this once. I'm gonna make you the host. More, stop sharing, stop. Withdraw co-host permission, more. It doesn't say make host, it only says make co-host. Let me see if I can change mine.
Do you want me to try leaving the call and coming back real quick?
It shouldn't matter. Ken, are you almost done with this empty? Cooper,
Yeah, yeah.
Cooper, what I would recommend you do right now is get dev C++ open, load up the list.h file, create a project, and then create the implementation file and have it ready so you can start cutting and pasting functions to put in.
Gotcha.
So as soon as you're done with that, Ken's gonna be able to join you. So you'll be able to share your screen.
Sounds good.
You got it, Ken? And
Yep, I'll post it here very shortly.
I'll keep working on this, trying to give you permission. Oh, I know what I can do. Let me try this once. End, leave meeting, assign a new host. And then I'll have to join back. Hopefully it won't take it from me. Your name's not listed as assigning a new host.
Do you not have the ability to just like move me into a breakout room?
I can. Yeah,
Okay.
I can do that.
Are we doing constants with these, like how we did with the other ones, like we put const at the end?
Sure.
Okay.
I thought for sure, Cooper, when I made you a co-host, you were able to jump around.
It only gave me 2 buttons. It gave me the security one